Hey, what's up guys? This is Michael Kotola, the Foreman Fitness Speed School Director, and today we're going through the Parisis evaluation. All right guys, so you can find all the equipment in the trainer lounge. You will need the Vertec headpiece that is found underneath the couch in the trainer lounge. You also need the laser timers, which is in this bag here, typically in one of the cubbies. You need the 75-foot or 300-foot tape measure, and also a stopwatch and the evaluation report with a clipboard. If you guys need help finding any of these pieces of equipment, just contact your program director. All right guys, so the tests that we test at our location here for the Parisis evaluation testing is the 10 and 20 yard dash, the vertical jump, the 5-hop test, the 5-10-5, and the chin-up test. All right guys, so let's get set up for the 10 and 20 yard dash, which are our first two tests. So first things we're gonna do here is to get an extra 5 yards onto our track. We're gonna measure 15 feet starting from the end of the line here, 15 feet right here, and then we're gonna set up 2 cones to act as the extension of our lane. So right here we have our starting sensor for our 10 and 20 yard dash. So you're gonna hold this red button here until you hear it beep, and then we'll set it right in front of the orange cone here. So then once we have our athlete go into the 3-point start, place the hand down right in front of the sensor here, you'll hear it beep, and that's when you know the starting sensor is ready. One quick note with the starting sensor is sometimes athletes prefer to have their hand on the opposite side, in which case you just flip the sensor to the other side, making sure the red button is pointing towards their hand. So in our bag here, of course we want everything nice and neat, so every time we take it out, it is neat as well. So for the next step, for our 10 and 20, these are our responder sensors. So we'll screw this into the top here, just like this. Just kind of screw it into the top, just like that. There's a little screw on the bottom. And then we'll open up the tripod, and let's get it set up on the lane. So note that each lane, each setup here, on the 10 yards and the 20 yards down the track, we need to have one with the antenna and one without the antenna. To turn the sensors on, just simply hold the button on the back until you hear a beep. You'll hear it beep. Once we have both sensors on, just wave your hand in between. You'll hear it beep. That's when you know it's rocking and rolling. All right, guys, so as you can see here, we have our starting point down there with our starting sensor set up. We have our 10-yard dash timers set up, and then we have our 20-yard dash timers down here set up. So once you have them facing each other, make sure the glass bulb is facing each other. That's how they connect the sensor. You know it's working properly if when you pass your hand through it, it makes a beeping noise. So before we get back to the testing for the 10 and 20 yard dash, I like to set up the tape measure on the side of the track for the 5-hop first. So here's how we do that. So we get the edge of our tape measure here. Let's get it all the way up to the black line. And then we'll stretch the tape measure out. Make sure the decimal side is on the top so you can see the decimal points all the way down the track about 55 feet. So we'll do that now. Just to make sure it doesn't move anywhere, get some sort of dumbbell, like a 10 or a 15-pound dumbbell, just to hold it in place like that. All right, you can lift back up. I'll turn the screen on now. All right, so we're gonna zoom in on the screen quick just so you guys can see what's going on here. So to turn it on, we're just gonna hold this black button here. Then we know the screen is ready. So Annika can put her hand in front of the timer here. And Annika, you can go. Let's film this, Ben. Yep, go whenever. First number is gonna be your 10 yard. So we're gonna remember 215. Second number is 351. So guys, make sure you remember the 10-yard dash because that will disappear once we get the 20-yard. Guys, real quick on the report for the evaluation, make sure you always report what the athlete's name is. Don't worry about the date of birth, but definitely write their age down. And that should be good to go. As long as we have their name, first and last name, and their age, we are good. For the 10-yard dash, so Annika just got a 215 for her 10, and then a 351 for her 20, so it'll look like this. It'll look just like that. For the 10 and 20 yard dash, the person will get 2 to 3 attempts, and that is it. Cut them off, use your coach discretion, whether you want it to be 2 attempts, 3 attempts, but don't do any more than 3 attempts. Once you finish the 10 and 20 yard dash, let's just turn off all of the equipment that's battery powered, just so we're not draining the battery. Make sure you turn off this one first, otherwise this will start screaming at you. And to turn them off, all you do is just hold the button on the back again. All right, guys, next up, let's move to the Vertec, the vertical jump test. So we're gonna need our headpiece with the tabs here, and also the base of the Vertec. Again, this is found underneath the couch in the trainer lounge. This is found typically on the track. So it'll slide in just like this. This is just our pinch bolt for the top here. Make sure all of this is facing away from the base of the bottom, just like this. So we'll tighten this all the way. We'll make sure all these are out, just like this. All right, then grab this handy dandy stick here. This will help just kind of straighten out all the tabs as the athletes are hitting them. And now we'll get into the measurement of the athlete. So we have Annika here. She's gonna be our guinea pig for the vertical jump. So a quick note is make sure the vertec is not underneath a bright light. As the athlete is jumping up, it could blind them, just make it a little bit more challenging. So keep it away from any lights. All right, so to get Annika's base height here, so you can just reach your arm up, stand right underneath just like this. So we're gonna have her fingertips go straight to the red tab just like this. And we wanna make sure her heels are on the ground, but she's trying to fully extend through her entire body, just like that. And then we can tighten this red pinch bolt over here just to lock that in place. Another option, you can reach to the 12-inch mark right here for our more advanced athletes. So if they're going for 25 inches plus, you can just grab this or reach to this 12-inch mark right here. All right, so when we know it's gonna be a more advanced athlete, we can already move some of these out of the way. So I already know Annika is gonna get at least 12 inches. So then just a reminder to all of our athletes is make sure you tell them to lightly tap it. We are not swatting a volleyball here or swatting a basketball. Just lightly tap it because these tabs move really easily. Go for it. Nice. All right, so as we can see here, just quick on the measurements. So since our baseline was the red tab here, it's gonna be 6 inches every red tab. So Annika got, looks like she got 18 inches up to this red tab here, and then she got another half. So she got 18 and a half just on that jump. So every white one is gonna be a ½ inch, blue one is gonna be a full inch. So since you got 3 red tabs, that's 18 inches, plus a white one, 18 and a half. All right, so for the vertical jump, if they miss tabs 2 or 3 times in a row, cut them off there. But if they keep getting tabs, let them keep going. Go for it. Nice. All right, one more try. Let's see what you got. All right, so we got 18, 19, 20 and a half inches for Annika. So for Annika's test here, that's how it would look, 20 and a half inches. Next up, we'll go to our 5-hop. All right, so for our 5-hop test, this is our horizontal power testing. So since we have our tape measure all the way up to the black here, we'll have our toes all the way up to the black as well. Make sure the athlete's feet stay put for this movement. And then we're gonna have the athlete jump as far as it can. So I'll jump here. Here's where the coach has to step in a little bit. Sometimes we'll see athletes wiggling forward like that. If you see them or catch them doing that, restart them. Don't be afraid to restart them. But if they move back in like this, that is okay. So moving inwards is okay. Moving forward is not okay. So then we'll have the athlete do 5 jumps total. And then say I finish over here. Say I finish right here, boom, okay. But I have 1 foot like this, 1 foot like that. So how we measure this is we measure the back heel of the back leg. So use a PVC pipe. Typically I don't encourage coaches to use their eyeballs, just use some sort of stick to keep it straight in the line here. So you'd use like a PVC pipe going from here all the way to here. So it would be around 32 and a half feet or so. All right, so make sure you put the measurement here. So if I got 32 and a half, so that's why we have the decimals, just so we can do that. Then it'd be 32 and a half feet. One other thing on the 5-hop is make sure the athlete gets 2 attempts, no less, no more. 2 attempts every single time. All right, guys, next up we have the 5-10-5. So we're gonna start with the line cutting the athlete in half. Whatever direction they're going, the opposite hand is gonna go down like this. The athlete decides to go. So once I decide to go, boom, I'm gonna side run here, touch the line, 5 yards with my outside hand, sprint over here, touch this line, the 10-yard line, and then sprint through the middle. And then the coach is gonna stop the time once they sprint through the middle. All right, so this is our standard stopwatch that we use for our testing. It doesn't have to be this brand, it could be any brand. But once the athlete decides to go, press start right here. They'll go their 5 yards, go their 10 yards, sprint through the middle, and then once they get past the middle, you can stop right there. And then that's the time we're gonna record on our report sheet. All right, so since we got 5-5-9, that's exactly what we're going to record in our box here. So just like that, 5-5-9. All right, guys, so our last test is gonna be the chin-up test. We typically use this black torque pull-up bar here. So how we start the test is our palms are gonna be facing towards us. For our shorter athletes, you're gonna have to get some sort of step, box, something like that where they can jump off of that. So we're gonna start in a full hang position. So it doesn't matter how they are. And then we're pulling the chin over the bar just like that, making sure they come back down to the full hang position every rep, just like so. And that concludes our evaluation testing, guys. If you have any questions whatsoever, again, reach out to your program director to help give you some guidance with that. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, one final note is make sure you give all these results anytime you do an evaluation to your program director, because that director needs to put it into the spreadsheet, which is our master spreadsheet.